Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going through the top 5 ways that ChatGPT's new agent mode can help out construction companies. Now, it's pretty fresh off the press, and I've been doing a lot of testing with it, and these are my 5 favorite ways I think it can fit into your workflows. What it's actually really good at is going right from research brief, turning it into a document, updating spreadsheets. It can do multiple steps at a time and run through different ways to approach them and ultimately come out with the best solution for what you're after based on your prompt there. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Josh Turner, construction project manager turned AI implementer, where I now help construction companies adopt AI. You can book a call and a link in the description, and we can see how we can help out your business. Now, so my top 5 ways before we jump into the main part of the video is 1, researching construction products and suppliers. 2, report and document creation. 3 is creating job packages for field teams, super fast. 4 is spreadsheet data cleanup and analysis. This one's super impressive, and you probably haven't seen AI do this kind of stuff before. Stick around for that. And 5 is to get summaries from your inbox and your calendar. Cool. So first off the gate, researching construction products and supplies. We've all been here where we need to find a product for a specific problem. And a lot of the time in construction, we haven't quite come across that problem or quite know the best product. And on top of that, we don't even know what supplier might be able to do that in my area. So that's where Agent Mode can go in. It can complete the research on the products that would be available for the specific solution. It can then create a table of the different solutions with pros and cons for each of them based on the situation you give it. It can consider things like cost, durability, climate sustainability of each of the products. And then it can, on top of that, go ahead and find both suppliers and the installation companies in your area. It can implement the preferred solution. It can upload the spec sheets, or you can get it to include the spec sheets of the products you're looking into. And then you can get it to create a summarized result of the materials you're after. And you can use that to inform the decisions you make on what product will be best for your situation. Very, very cool, and can save you a ton of time, especially if you know a little bit about each of the products and where they may fit. This just helps you make a better decision based on a more detailed research that can be done in a matter of minutes creating a prompt. So we'll do exactly that. Let's jump into a demo of a use case for that. Okay, so now we're in my ChatGPT here. And the first thing I'm going to do is obviously turn on agent mode. Now I've already created a prompt for the product I want to look into. So you can see I've got the role here and that it's a research assistant, some context, that and general contractor, and looking to find a solution that can fix a 30 millimeter gap in a 150 millimeter UPVC pipe. So it's too big and I can't excavate down onto it. So that's the core problem there. You can see I've broken out its task into steps. So starting with the research and summary, presenting the findings, a table with those items, then finding the suppliers, and then deciding which product and supplier will be the best fit for what I'm after. And here's just some constraints to reiterate it and the ultimate goal at the end there. So what I'm going to do with that is hit enter, and that will start thinking about it. And you can see that Agent Mode actually sets up its own desktop. So it's going to go ahead and do that. And once it's done that, it's created a summary of what it's going to be doing for me. And you can actually follow along in the steps that it's taking. Cool. And now you can see it's started doing its research. So you can see live where the process is going through and what it's looking at to give you the best answer. And if you're curious, you can go back and relook at the steps it's done. Now it can take anywhere from sort of 5 minutes to half an hour. We'll come back and see what the results of it are. Right. So the agent has finished up here. Now you can see it ran for 18 minutes and then stop. And that is because it wanted to look at some things on Facebook, which it classes as sensitive data. So I needed to keep the tab open and actually watch it while it did it. So that's exactly what I did. It worked for another 4 minutes and then it created the report. So let's take a look at the report here and see what it created for us. Cool. So it's just giving us a PDF of the repair products here. Now I've had this before, external references that it's putting inside the report here, which is very annoying, but fortunately you can fix it with just one prompt, calling it to remove these, and that'll bring it back to a normal document. Now I've done it in my other video, so I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to go ahead and see what it's done. And it looks to me as if it has given us a number of different patch kits and epoxies and that kind of stuff that we could use in for our problem, which is awesome. Got a few extra notes on those there. And then it's got our suppliers. Yep, they're all legit. I've actually talked to a lot of those. That's really cool. And the recommendation and decision. Funny enough, I had a similar situation and it's pretty much done what I did anyway. So it's gone a long way in helping me get more information about what decisions I have and then creating one too. Now, you'll figure out the workflow as you go. It's certainly a big help in terms of bringing together the options. So yeah, a cool use case. Cool. Number 2 is report and document creation. I've been loving using ChatGPT's agent to create my documents. I find it just gets the context a little bit better. You can give it a little bit more information to digest and it can take that in, and it's spitting out well-formatted documents that you can even update with a prompt. I've actually got a much deeper video on how to do this, so I'll link that below so you can jump into that after this video. But what you need to know is that it can create polished documents which can come out as a format like a docs, PDF, or whatever you need, and then you can just simply download that. So just as a super quick overview, the key steps for that are to gather and upload the reference documentation, things like the RFP that you're going after and examples of past reports you've done. They're the best things to give it because it'll use that to format your new one. And then 2 is giving a good, detailed, structured prompt for the agent to work off, because it's going to go away and do multiple steps in one go. So you want to make sure you prompt it right up front so it knows the best steps to do from there. And 3 is to review the output and either update the prompts or download it manually. So depending on the different things you want to update, it may make sense to reprompt it, or it may make sense to download and make those finer edits out manually. So check out my detailed video on that. It's really, really good. It can save you a ton of time. Cool. So the third use case is creating job packages for your field teams. Now, this could be a huge time saver for you and be a better product for your team. So what you're going to do is upload any emails you've had to and from the client, any proposals or quotes you send, and then any other relevant information for the project you're going to be creating the job package for. And for best results, you want to upload a few example job packages you've used for other projects and then prompt it to create the package in the same format. That way, for every project, you'll have the same formatted job package. So it's really easy for your field teams to go in there and find the information you want. This would also be a great solution for the solo operators. So if you're both dealing with a client and delivering the work out on site, you can use your office time to create this package of work that you can then take to the field. And you've always got the information you need on hand and easy to find. So that could be a great time saver when you're out in the field. Now let's jump into a demo of exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're back into my ChatGPT. Again, select agent mode, and I've created a prompt already, which again has the role that the project coordinator, and their goal is to create a job package in a PDF format. Using the details I'm going to give it in this example, I'm going to give it the email thread that with the client that has the details for the job, and then a job package report template that it can use to structure it. Here's the instructions laying out what it needs to do to get to what I want, which is a new job package I can take for this new project. And that's covered in the deliverable here. So relatively simple prompt here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the email thread and the example job package. So just go add photos here. And then I want this and this. Go open, and it's going to upload these now. And once that is uploaded, I'll hit enter and the agent can go away and start creating it. So same as before, it'll run through this, thinking about it, setting up the desktop, then give back a summary of what it's going to do, and the desktop will get set up. So let's come back once it's finished. Great. So you can see here that took it 29 minutes to do. And here's the PDF of the job package that it's delivered. So let's take a look into that. Cool. So you can see it has actually followed the example I've given it. Every company will be different, but this is just an example. So it's got the details of where the job is, who the client is, got the scope of work, some key safety things with the utilities and PPE, crew and equipment, materials, mixed designs they're going to be using, quality checkpoints, and required photos, logistics, and then pre-site checklists that the foreman can fill out while they're on site. You can see the formatting's a little bit funky, but overall it's a pretty good, certainly first draft, and you could prompt it again just to see if you could get that to tidy up the formatting a little bit. But In this case, there's no need, just an example. So yeah, pretty cool. The fourth one, and this might be a new one to a lot of people, is spreadsheet data cleanup and analysis. So we're at the point now where you can upload a messy spreadsheet of data and prompt it to basically clean it up to look like how you want it. And then on top of that, it can go into there and summarize different data trends and even create things like pivot tables and other ways to display those trends. And another one is categorizing large chunks of data. So rather than manually going through and looking at the category that each of these fit into, you can prompt the AI to do that. This is going to be a massive one for those of us who use spreadsheets all the time, which is nearly everyone, but always forget a formula and things like that. Now we can go in there and have the AI do a lot of that work for us by just prompting it with plain English. So let's jump into a demo where I have a messy spreadsheet of cost data from a project that needs tidying up both in formatting, and then I want to pull out a bit of a trend from that too. So let's jump into that demo now. Right, back into ChatGPT here. So first of all, I'll show you the data that we're going to be uploading. And you can see here it's a complete mess. So it's a bunch of information for a project, and the dates are all formatted wrong. They've used different project names and all of the things. The subcontractors are all in there in a random order. Tasks aren't particularly clear or streamlined. Like these are obviously the same things. They've got hours, not just the numbers, they've got the letters in there too. So really it just needs a good tidy up so that we can actually use this data for something useful. So what I've got here is I'm going to upload it first to ChatGPT. This is the one here. And then I've got quite a long prompt, essentially just saying that it needs tidying up. And I'll be honest, you can use ChatGPT to actually help you create the prompt that you want by just brain dumping how you want the sheet to look, and it can put out a structured prompt like this. So this, right to the top, is just that you're here to clean it. Inputs available. So that's just a sheet. And then it's got the target sections that we want, which is what we're just looking at. It's just defining those. Then the cleaning normalization rules. So this is getting like all the dates into the same format, all of the Hillsborough variants to that. This is where you put in all the things of the data that you actually want fixing. So things like subcontractor names where they've been put in different ways, getting them streamlined into one. Same with the likes of typing of the tasks. So really just tidying it all up. It looks complicated, but really all this is saying is the stuff that you want cleaning. And then just reiterating the deliverable that we want both a clean CSV and a clean spreadsheet in Excel format. And the data quality there. So more details on the output format and style, just to make sure that it's got a very clear instruction to what it is. And then because this is agent and it does run multiple steps, we've got a check before finishing. So just to prompt it to make sure that it's gone ahead and fix all of these things here. So let's go ahead and hit enter on that, and we can check back in once ChatGPT Agent has done it. Okay, so now it's finished. You can see it worked for 7 minutes to get this done. It's given us our CSV and then our spreadsheet and a report on exactly what it's fixed, giving us what's accounted for most of the costs, the top spenders, some average prices in there. So some good little facts that could be quite helpful. Really good considering I just said to put some trends in. I didn't actually give it too much background on what trends I wanted out of it. So that's nice. Now I've gone ahead and opened up the clean data here, and you can see it's looking much better. Everything's as you expect, a little bit more streamlined, particularly the numbers. It's streamlined all of them to be in hours, and the crew size much tidier. It's got the naming mostly right here. You can see it's not quite got it perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. And the big one here is it's actually pulled out the units into its own column, which is nice. Total cost, and then the rest is looking pretty good. So yeah, you can see how that can really save you some time next time you have a massive lot of data to sort. Yeah, so it's another very cool use case. The first one is getting summaries from your inbox. So if you didn't know, Agent Mode, you can actually connect a lot of the softwares you use to it, which basically gives it access to go through and use those softwares to pull out information. The most popular things would be something like Gmail, your calendar, and files like your Google Drive. Now, a lot of people won't want to do this, and that's cool. But for those of you who do, this can really help you at being kind of an assistant to help you prepare for things coming up and pull that information. For example, you can say to ChatGPT, hey, dates have I got from the suppliers in the past week, and put it into a table format. This is a nice way for you to get a summary of information that's been passed through your inbox in that week. You can also say things like, what are the client requests I've had for the past month in a table too? And then you can simply go through and just double check you've got a handle on all of the things the client's been through. So heaps of ways to pull out a number of different pieces of information that you want in a nice summary, rather than trying to dig through emails and find everything you need. Another cool way is for when you've got an upcoming meeting that you don't have a lot of time to prep for, but it's important. You can go to ChatGPT and ask it to create a summary of all information you'll need to be best prepared for that meeting. And then it can look at the meeting, see the context of what it's about, who's involved, and then go through your files in your inbox to pull out all the information that'll be useful to you. And then it'll create it in a summary. So you can just read the summary, and then you'll be nice and prepared for the meeting when it comes about super quickly as well. Really like that use case. And the last one is really using it as an advanced search function for your inbox. We've all had that where we've known an email has come in that had some important information that we just can't quite remember. And we also can't remember who sent it and when it was sent. So this is a great way to kind of streamline finding that information out too. Yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff what it can achieve now. Again, we can automate a lot of these workflows and others into your business. Book a call to see how we can help you out there. There's some huge time-saving opportunities in here, so let's make the most of those. Now, we encourage you to start experimenting with your own workflows and documents. This is the best way to learn it, and this is the worst version they'll ever be. It's only going to get better from here, and it's already really useful. So you've just got to start using it, and then you'll pick up how it will run for your own specific use cases and get to know how the model reacts. That's the best way to start out here. Now, let me know how you find it and what use cases you're using in the comments below. Now, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with everything construction AI, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.